Nvidia has unveiled its ambitious 2025 strategy, demonstrating its leadership in artificial intelligence research. With an emphasis on increasing efficiency, productivity, and incorporating AI into commonplace applications, the company wants to completely transform the way we use technology. Here are 7 key points that highlight Nvidia's future plans and the transformative impact of AI across various industries. Number 7. The hook. The hook is the essential first line of your story that is meant to grab the reader's interest and pull them in. Not only does this first scene set the tone, introduce important characters, and create the atmosphere, but it also lays the groundwork for all that comes after. A captivating hook can be anything from an action-packed scene that draws the reader into the story's universe to a thought-provoking inquiry that makes them want to read more. For example, putting a character in a life or death scenario at the start, like a young woman fleeing a building that is falling, instantly builds suspense and urgency. This method raises questions about how the subject got into such danger, while also hinting at more general themes of resiliency and survival. Establishing an emotional bond between the reader and the protagonist is made possible by the hook, which entices readers to become involved in the character's journey and keeps them reading to find out what happens next. Number 6. Plot, Turn 1. The inciting event that upends the protagonist's normal life and ushers them into the main conflict of the narrative is plot turn 1. This point is crucial because it presents an unavoidable opportunity or challenge that compels the protagonist to act. This turning point can take many different forms. It could be a dramatic incident, like seeing a crime that forces them to get involved, or it could be an unexpected one, like receiving a cryptic letter that discloses family secrets. This scene is essential for setting the story's stakes and the protagonist's motives. If your protagonist, for instance, is a regular person who has an accident and then learns they have magical talents, this revelation not only transforms their life, but also starts a series of events that will put them in confrontation with strong enemies. As the protagonist sets off on their quest, plot turn 1 skillfully transitions the story from exposition to action, setting the stage for character growth and theme investigation. Number 5. Pinch 1. Pinch 1 takes place soon after plot turn 1 and aims to remind readers of the main issue while also increasing tension. By presenting or highlighting the adversary or opposing force that poses a threat to the protagonist's objectives, this scene is essential for reiterating what is at risk for them. It frequently sheds light on the difficulties that lie ahead, demonstrating their strength and the necessity of overcoming them. If your story is about a hero attempting to protect their community from a corrupt corporation, for example, Pinch 1 might show how the corporation is already abusing local resources or causing harm to citizens via carelessness. By showing possible outcomes, this revelation not only increases reader engagement, but also begs the question of how the protagonist can possibly prevail in the face of such enormous odds. By raising the emotional stakes at this point, Pinch 1 engenders a sense of urgency and dread that entices readers to keep reading, curious to discover how the protagonist will handle these difficulties. Number 4. Midpoint. One of the most important parts of your story is the middle, when your protagonist experiences a tremendous change in circumstances. This moment, which is frequently marked by a revelation or turning point, causes them to reevaluate how they perceive their circumstances or to completely modify their strategy. Characters may learn important lessons about themselves or their enemies at this point, enabling them to act more decisively rather than just responding to events. For example, your protagonist may find a hidden strength or resource like an old item with extraordinary powers that changes their perspective on how to face their issues if they have been fighting an opponent that looks unbeatable. The midpoint acts as a kind of climax and a gateway to more intense conflict. It frequently adds new issues or stakes that drive the plot to its conclusion, while simultaneously providing ample opportunity for character growth as the heroes face their limitations and anxieties. Number 3. Pinch 2. Pinch 2 follows the midpoint and serves to intensify the conflict while reiterating the protagonist's stakes. Significant setbacks or barriers that make success appear more and more unachievable are usually presented at this point, which causes uncertainty and suspense in both characters and readers. It is intended to test the protagonist's willpower. They might lose a significant battle against an opponent or be betrayed by a once trusted ally. For instance, Pinch 2 may have a particularly tragic loss, like failing to save someone they care about, that compels your hero to face their own fears and limits more head-on if they have been struggling against insurmountable obstacles. Characters are forced to deal with thoughts of hopelessness while figuring out how to unite for one last push against hardship as a result of this growing catastrophe, which forces them to grow as people and become more resilient. You can keep readers interested and involved in how your protagonist will handle these difficulties by raising the emotional stakes at this point. Number 2. Plot. Turn 2. Storyline. Another crucial turning point is Turn 2, when your protagonist experiences yet another transformation that frequently leads to resolution. Usually, characters learn important information or acquire new tools during this stage, which gives them the strength to face their problems head-on with new confidence. They might discover their own strengths, for example, that they have special talents, or they might make surprising connections with other characters who help them get over challenges. For instance, following defeats in Pinch 2, your protagonist may discover information revealing the antagonist's weaknesses or locate a specialized ally who might help them come up with a plan against insurmountable odds. As protagonists get ready for their final showdown with enemies, Plot Turn 2 acts as a stimulant for action, reviving both character motivation and plot momentum. Character development is also demonstrated at this point. After overcoming hardship and drawing lessons from past mistakes, protagonists now possess fresh perspectives that help them find closure. Number 1. Resolution. The resolution is where all storylines converge and conflicts are resolved, bringing closure to both plot arcs and character journeys. This final act illustrates how events have transformed not only the protagonist, but also their world and relationships with others throughout the narrative journey. The resolution should address major questions raised during earlier points while providing satisfying outcomes for key characters, whether through victory over an antagonist or personal growth achieved through struggle and sacrifice. It's essential for this point to resonate emotionally with readers. They should feel fulfilled regarding how conflicts were resolved and how characters have changed throughout their journey. A well-written ending ensures that readers are satisfied with both the journey accompanied by your characters and the story's eventual finish, by leaving them with thoughts on themes discussed throughout the narrative, such as redemption, sacrifice, love, or resilience. An impactful ending is one that stays with readers long after they have completed reading, because it ties up loose ends while leaving space for interpretation or reflection on what will happen to characters after the plot is resolved. Writers may produce engrossing characters and complex narratives that have emotional and thematic resonance by carefully crafting every element, from the opening hook to the conclusion. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.